Hello, hello, everyone, and Happy New Year! It's me, Arden Lee. I am back with another video, and it's 2019. How are we all feeling? I know that I've been really looking forward to this fresh start of the new year. I always seem to get a pretty big burst of energy come January once the holidays are over, and I'm so excited to use that time to feel motivated and get so much done. So today, in today's video, I want to talk about the three things that I believe are the most effective and the most effective, I guess, resolutions, for lack of a better word, but the most effective practices that you can bring into the new year that are actually going to be sustainable. So of course, before I get into that, I would love, as always, to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I love to talk about on this channel ways that we can improve our lives by changing our beliefs, changing our habits, and bringing more and more conscious awareness to our decisions. So if that sounds like something you're into, go ahead and hit that button and let me know how this is hitting you. Let me know if these are helpful, and let me know if there's a subject that you have a special request that you'd like me to give a talk on. And if it's something that I feel like I'm capable of doing, I would love to be able to do that for you. So let's stay connected. I want to stay in your feed, and let's all go into 2019 with a better arsenal of tools and tactics for taking control of our lives and controlling our outcomes and being happier, more successful, and more fulfilled. All right, so let's talk about the three practices that I believe are the best practices to take into the new year with you that are going to not only get you the best results, but also be the most fun and the most sustainable, the things that you're going to be likely to stick with. Because of course, when we all think about New Year's resolutions, so often we think about, new gym memberships or diets, things that come out of, either guilt and shame, or things that, we take this energy of the new year, we take this energy of coming into the month of January, and we assume that it's going to last us all year, and it so rarely does. I mean, so many New Year's resolutions end up failing as a result of sort of, having all of that motivation at the start of the year and taking for granted that it's still going to be there. And, and eventually, we lose that motivation. We don't want to get up and go to the gym. We don't want to, we see foods that we're tempted by or whatever, and we don't end up sticking with it. And, I have my own thoughts about, diets and essentially popular practices that amount to little other than counterproductive body shaming of ourselves. I'll probably save that for a different video, but really, like, what I want to inspire you to do is I want to inspire you to adopt practices that are actually going to be fun and useful, and that you're going to see results from pretty much right away. So, all right, so I've narrowed it down to three things that I think are going to be the most effective things for you to take into the new year with you. And that first one is to find social circles that inspire you. Now, if you've been following so much of the trends and the sort of the cultural collective consciousness ideas of 2018, you may have seen a lot of posts and memes going around about cutting out negative people and ending toxic relationships and banishing all negativity and toxicity from your life. And that's terrific. However, there's a problem with that. If you only focus on ending toxic relationships, then you create space for more relationships to come in, and there's nothing that is going to guarantee that those relationships are going to be any different from the last ones that you held. So what I like to do is I like to be very intentional about finding social circles where I see healthy practices going on. It's not enough necessarily just to shed those old friendships and relationships out of your life that are no longer serving you. That's a great thing to do, but remember that if you're staying in that energy, you're not focusing on what the next step is. So sure, absolutely, cut out toxic people from your life, set better boundaries, get rid of negativity to the extent that you're able to, but then be intentional about what communities are you joining, what friendships are you exploring that are going to be different. For me, I've decided, there's there's a community, there's a practice that I want to join, and I'm doing that because I look there and I see people within that community that are really happy and really healthy, and also are really comfortable with celebrating themselves and with being vulnerable enough to express joy, right? It's kind of funny. We don't often think of joy as being something that's vulnerable, but it really is. It's so much safer for us to be jaded, we associate that with being more sophisticated, or being even being more smarter, being intelligent enough to criticize things. But to actually be in joy and to express that is actually, it's far more vulnerable action. So one of my New Year's resolutions is I've been looking specifically for communities and people where that's something that seems to be consistent, where I see people who are really happy, because of course I want to be happier. And one of the ways that we can assimilate beliefs is by joining a social circle that believes those same things. So that's number one. That's the first thing, is you want to be intentional about finding social circles where healthier relationships seem to be happening, and specifically with whatever qualities you want to start bringing into your own life. Another thing that I'm going to be doing this year is I've made a resolution to go to some more business events, because I want to start being in that energy of success and abundance rather than being in scarcity, right? And since I'm also, I'm a musician, which falls under the category of artist, so often I can find myself surrounding myself with people who are really wonderful and really creative and really heart-centered, but are not focused on bringing in that stability and that abundance. So I want to create a life for myself where I don't have to choose between those things. So I'm specifically, oh, hi, Virgil. Do you want to create a life of abundance too? Has everyone met Virgil already? Virgil is my assistant, and sometimes he helps me with my videos. Do you want to sit here while I'm teaching? You can do that. So, so already I've signed up for a 3-day event in the first quarter of the year, where I get to go and be around people who are being really successful with their businesses, and I get to absorb that kind of energy. So whatever qualities you're looking for to bring into your life, be intentional about finding social circles where you can start to assimilate those qualities. All right, second thing is develop any kind of a writing practice, whether it's morning pages, journaling, even mood journaling or gratitude journaling. Just get your thoughts down on paper. Writing is one of the quickest ways, in my experience, to drop into your truth and to cultivate self-awareness of what's going on in your life, and to help you process and sort out solutions to your immediate issues. Because when you bring those things to the forefront, you see them on the page in front of you, it's so much easier to drop in, and things in your life just start moving more and more quickly. When I look back at my own life, it's always been the times that I was most depressed or most in denial that I was afraid to write things. And so that kind of became a signal for me, like, wow, if I'm not writing, that's a signal to me that something is not right in my life, because I'm afraid to be honest with myself about the truth of the situation. So the more quickly that you can be honest with yourself about the truth of your situation, the more quickly you can change it and adapt to it and look at it and evaluate it and decide what you want to keep and what's maybe not going right. And of course, it's also a really great way to celebrate yourself too. It's a really great way to reattune your focus to the things that you do love within your life, to the things that you're grateful for. And if that word triggers you, I invite you to look up a video that I have on this channel about gratitude practice. I think it's called how to have a gratitude practice that doesn't annoy the fuck out of you, or I don't know, something like that. But you can definitely find that, and hopefully that will help. And then the last thing that I want to advise you to take into 2019 with you is any kind of movement, getting back into your body, doing like literally anything. It doesn't have to be a gym membership. You don't have to set these unrealistic goals of getting up every day, every morning before work and going to the gym for 2 hours, or, losing this many amount of pounds, or being able to bench press XYZ. Just set the goal for yourself to start moving more, right? So I always think back to this fitness center that I was briefly a part of when I lived in New York City. And I always remember the owner of the fitness center, named it JKM Fitness, and he said it stood for Just Keep Moving. And he had lost a ton of weight and gotten, super healthy in his body. And he said the one thing that I learned about fitness is it doesn't matter what you're doing, just keep moving. It doesn't matter if you're dancing around your apartment. It doesn't matter if you're playing volleyball on the beach, whatever it is. And of course, as you know, as I hope you know by now if you've been following these videos, the more you can bring fun and the elements of fun and the elements of play into what you're doing, the easier it's going to be to do. So me personally going into 2019, I've actually found a way to combine number 1 and number 3 by joining a community of healthy people where they're also doing a movement practice. I want to get more in my body. Like if you let me, I will stay up in my head forever, as you guys probably know. So I will just talk and I will do everything based in language and processing. So my own resolution for the new year is I'm looking to join a community of people who look like they're super happy and really enjoying themselves, and that they also incorporate a movement practice into that. So I'm super stoked about that. But it really doesn't matter what kind of movement practice you have, even if it's a resolution to put on some music that you love and just dance around, for 20 minutes a day, or, even just a couple times a week, whatever it is. Find something you love and just move your body, get into your skin. So often we remain so sedentary, and it's so not healthy for us. We want to just, whatever it is that gets our blood pumping, that gets everything circulating, that gets our spirit inhabiting our body. That's going to be really transformative for us. It's going to affect the way we feel. It's going to affect our health overall, and it's going to affect our emotional wellness as well. It's going to start moving any of that stuck sedentary energy in us, and it's going to really have big payoffs. And you don't need a gym membership to do that. You can if you enjoy the gym, but so many people, I feel like, sign up for these New Year's resolutions at the start of the year, and they're things that they feel that motivation to do things differently, and so they pick things that are challenging for themselves. And I think that's a mistake, because when you pick something that feels challenging in that moment of feeling like you can do it, too often we end up biting off more than we can chew, and it's not something we enjoy. So pick something that you actually like to do, or just resolve that each week you're going to find something that you're in the mood to do anyway that involves movement, whether that's hiking, whether it's running along the beach, whatever that happens to be. So those are the 3 things that I recommend taking into 2019 with you. Find a social circle where you have folks with really positive and healthy mind frames who are already assimilated the beliefs that you want for yourself, whether that's happiness, whether that's success, whether that's creativity, whatever that happens to be. Number 2, do a writing practice of any kind, even if it's just free association, even if it's lists, even if it's a gratitude journal, a mood journal of the way you felt, on any given day, and what you feel contributed to your feeling that way. Whatever is easiest for you, just get your thoughts down on paper. It doesn't even have to make sense. You can just write the same word over and over and over again until something finally comes, till it finally starts flowing. And third, do something to get your body moving, whatever it is that's the most fun for you, because of course, as always, if something is fun, it is effective. So, all right, thank you guys for paying attention. Happy New Year, and let me know how this sat with you. Let me know if it was helpful. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.